This is the LEGO Speed Champions Mercedes-AMG G63 and Mercedes-AMG SL63, and this is the best Speed Champions set of 2024. This is the best Speed Champion set of 2024 according to Mercedes drivers worldwide. I like to operate without personal biases, so here are some objective facts. This is a June 2024 set, contains 808 pieces and costs $45 American, and contains two Mercedes models. Unfortunately, they will lose most of their value the second you drive them off the lot. In this case, the lot being the Walmart parking lot. Ah, the mighty Merc, the rich man's BMW. It's more than a status symbol. It's a very expensive status symbol. Mercedes has actually made some pretty incredible cars in recent years. They've also made the G63 and SL63. I'm only kidding. These cars actually look pretty great, and these models are actually pretty accurate depictions of them. Plus, the builds were a lot of fun, the minifigures provided plenty to make fun of, and staying true to the Mercedes modus operandi, this video may feature sudden unsignaled turns and a rapid depreciation in value over a short time. You'll see. Staying true to form, Mercedes surprised me with their lack of turn signal and also with this choice of car. This G-Wagon is fine, but in 2025, Mercedes is coming out with a G-Wagon I thought LEGO would love because it's electric. Boogie woogie woogie. The SL63 looks fine, but it's also a predecessor to the GT, which in my opinion looks better. I think the new model is going to be a plug-in hybrid, plus it's been an F1 safety car and it can drive on a Mobius strip, which helped the Avengers discover time travel and save the world. Ipso facto. There's also the AMG Mythos concept car, which was revealed at Monaco, which I mentioned for no reason other than to congratulate our boy Chuck. I did call a well-off friend to ask their opinion on this set. They said I couldn't afford the minutes it would cost to make it worth them answering, called me bourgeois, made fun of me for mispronouncing that, bourgeois, and asked me why I hadn't founded multiple startups before the age of 25. Last time I asked Duck Bricks to help with a video. I'm entirely kidding, Chris is actually incredibly kind. Sudden right turn. You should have anticipated me turning even without my turn signal, and if you didn't, that's on you, not me. This is the Mercedes-AMG SL63. It's a Roadster convertible, not a coupe, so your government has nothing to fear. When building this set in a classic Mercedes misdirect, the rear comes first, followed by the front. The color here is technically a sun yellow color. I like to think of it as a mustard yellow, as I strategically ate a sandwich with mustard on it while building, and you can't even see the smears. I would have preferred it in a tomato juice red, as it does have a V8. There's a nice mix of printed and stickered pieces here. The taillights look like Buzz Lightyear robots, the headlights look like eyes squinting in confusion and disappointment at your lack of financial literacy for buying this car. In bag 2, what are all these studs for? Also, that sun yellow lives up to its name by ruining the exposure on my camera, and between these two builds there were several steps where I felt like I was doing something wrong but couldn't quite figure out what, which is a feeling I'm used to. I've been married over 10 years. On this car it was the inverted front bumper with very low tolerances, which is a feeling I'm used to. I've been married for over 10 years. We install these active louvers. Oh, there are these studs doing a surprisingly accurate grille impression. We put on those headlights, hood, windshield, wheels, person, woman, man, camera, TV, and the build is done. The end result is a pretty great looking little Roadster whose overall shape doesn't excite me terribly, but it's still incredibly well built compared to the real car. The real car, some might call it an upper class Pontiac Solstice. It cost $187,000 and has almost 600 horsepower. The SL stands for Sport and Light. It's not an SLK, which would mean Sport, Light, and Short. It's not short, so we have less to compensate for, but that doesn't stop us from driving a bright yellow convertible. That 63, of course, is there because Mercedes designers are big fans of George Russell, Lamborghini was founded in 1963, there was a 6.3 liter engine one time and it was a V8, and now they name other V8s after that. I personally can't afford to use the metric system, so I have no idea how large that engine is. Compared to the real car, the profile isn't that far off, but it falls a little flat, as that subtle slope on the real car just reads as flat on this model. The windshield is also a little off, and by that I mean the sun yellow bounces off of that windshield to produce a glaring error in that the windshield ironically should fall flatter and have much less curve. The new opening bonnet is a nice touch. On the interior, there's a little detail on that center console depicted with a sticker that exists in the real car, which I can't discover a use for despite my constant Googling and having read through the entire owner's manual. If you know what that is, please let me know. A little media screen is shown there with a sticker. In the real car, it actually features a master race mode. Now, I like to make an edgy quip now and again, but much like spicy food, I look way too Western European to touch that one. Regardless, the overall look and vibe of this car is well achieved, and it would look great cruising through the streets of any LEGO City's upper class neighborhood. You can't go cruising without a driver. In this case, this minifigure looks cool. He's got his shades on. You gotta have shades for that sun yellow color. I would match him, but unfortunately, I recently broke mine. That jacket looks pretty familiar. If I had to guess, I would say that's the AMG men's performance jacket in selenite gray. Only problem is, it has the wrong sleeve color. Unless, of course, it's the Gillette. Gillette meaning rich person talk for vest. Unfortunately, I can't look like the most entitled minifigure of all time because I can't find them for sale outside of Australia, and the one friend I had in Australia just moved to the US. Congratulations, Holly. This minifigure also came with a wrench, but I lost it immediately, and somehow it hasn't been an issue because as a Mercedes owner, the very notion of fixing my own car would result in unbridled ridicule from my golf foursome this weekend. Sudden U-turn. Based on how hard it was to find this set first at Walmart, as implied by their signage, I think this will be the most popular set in this wave. Heck, I almost had to wait till actual release date to acquire it, like a commoner / land rejectee. So let's do our part to reduce scarcities by making a surplus of likes and subscriptions on this video if you're enjoying it. Sudden left turn. Sorry, either my turn signals don't work or I can't find them among this Boeing 777 of a control panel. This is the Mercedes-AMG G63, better known as the G-Wagon. Building this new Geländewagen was very different than usual. There's a long axle that runs down the middle. Really, 1x5s are the star of this build. A bunch of jumper plates create some strange offsets, allowing for some small details, and as a result, I have no idea how many studs wide this car is, but I don't think it's 8, and I apologize to the soulless. There's some great arch support for the orthopedics out there. Once you get the floor in, the fenders go in at fun angles. There's satisfying snot for the doors. You install the white seats. Rosa Parks disapproves. The rear of the wagon snaps on, and yeah, those pieces aren't supposed to touch. Remember those strange offsets? Also, are these pieces new? IDK, but they're fire because they make for a great grille effect. Ironically, sloped grille pieces are used for the bumper. These louvers are inactive as far as I know. Unfortunately, this won't be a true G until that grille is gold. Next come the headlights, hood, horizontal windows, windshield, roof, wheels, and a sense of satisfaction upon completion. The end result, I think, is a worthy addition to the SC SUVCU. As for the real car, I think this is based on the 2025 model. It cost $188,000 and it's electric. Boogie woogie woogie. Actually, it's what they call a mild hybrid, so it's kind of electric. Boogie woogie woogie woogie. It just means there's an extra battery somewhere in there that does an extra something. Promo images of this car usually show it in this blue color, but this model is one of the many verbosely named black paint colors. But I actually like these different degrees of black on this build much better than all those shades of gray. If we compare the model of this car to that of the real thing, it will show that the wheels, I think, are a little small, but I'm not one to nitpick details. But if I were, I would say the hood is a little off. And by that, I mean, it looks a little weird. But a fun feature, the hood is a little off. By that, I mean it's only attached to the car at one hinge because it opens. The rims pay tribute to the wagon wheels of old, now being used on the G-Wagons of new. The aforementioned fenders are a little off the sides of the car, which is accurate, though these are not the best fenders LEGO has made. The exhaust is shiny and chrome, so you can ride Eternal to see Furiosa in theaters now. I assume this was a clever collab. And speaking of glaring inaccuracies, the rear windshield falls flat, and by that I mean it should be flat, and it isn't. The roof is also a little off, and by that I mean it's only attached by 2 studs for easy removal, so technically both cars are convertibles. Our model is a 4-seater where the real car is actually a 5-seater, but that's okay, there's only one minifigure included, and she only has one friend. You get a spare tire with this set, as with the real car. I got a spare tire from a slowing metabolism in my 30s. As for the minifigure, do you even know who she is? I don't, but I do know she needs to speak to my manager. The shirt she's wearing also actually exists. Where's the arm printing? Where's the double molded arms for a short sleeve effect? And where is that manager? She also has that certain kind of hair that I think LEGO absolutely knew what they were doing by including, but hey, at least she can meet up with her friend from the BMW N4 and they can have a salon day. Sudden stop, reverse, honk, gesture. I saw that parking spot first. I apologize if it seems like I'm being harsh on Mercedes fans or owners. I know you have real problems too, like when you set your electric cup holder to warm instead of cool and your iced coffee is ruined. Sorry, I'm about 15 to 20 years away from a midlife crisis, and until then I can't truly appreciate a Mercedes. Clearly I'm just upset about the monumental wealth gap in modern society, but if you'd like to widen that wealth gap, do your part and give the billion-dollar company your $45 for this set. I promise no one will make fun of you for being a Mercedes owner, and if they do, they're just jealous that you have a Mercedes and they don't. Left turn signal, surprise right turn.